So how is it going, Dank Division? Dank Dan here, and let's face it, this week has been nuts in regards to leaks. I mean, we've seen gameplay footage that already got leaked. You have it that there's already talks about the DMZ zone. But let's talk about Warzone 2. The fact that from a very credible source, or should I just simply say the name, Tom Henderson, ended up dropping 18 different points of interest, and we're going to go over all of them in no particular order. Now keep in mind, some of these locations are maps that we have known all too well. Now some of you might be wondering, why the hell am I playing BO4 in the background? There's a reason for that. This map is pretty much made from old school maps with random areas thrown in throughout the whole area, and that is exactly what it appears Warzone 2 intends to do. So let's talk about it. The first location, not really much to go off of, is simply titled Oasis. Now, those of you who don't know an oasis, pretty much a body of water in the middle of the desert. Not really much to go off of, but still something decent. The next one is called War-Torn. Pretty much probably going to be a rubbled area, good place for people to hide, good place to grab loot, probably to get a couple of shotgun kills, maybe have a sniper hiding in there. Now this next one you might remember from Modern Warfare 2, and that of course is Quarry. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Modern Warfare 2 maps. This beautiful abandoned quarry with multiple levels of elevation, windows, there is pretty much enough area where if the parkouring at least and climbing stuff goes well, you will be able to outmaneuver your opponents or get the drop on them if you happen to have the high ground. God help you. Another location we will potentially be seeing is oil field. Now, whether or not that's going to be in the giant oil field towers that you'd see somewhere out in the Middle East, or if it's going to be more, well, South American, we do not know. Now, what's more intriguing is the fact that there's supposed to be a modern city, and not just any modern city. For those of you who have played Modern Warfare 2, and I'm going to keep coming back to Modern Warfare 2 because it seems like they're using the old maps, high-rise. Picture being able to actually play from the ground to the rooftops of high-rise. We have always wanted to see what is at the bottom of that map. There are many other buildings that are all around it, so this will pretty much be Warzone 2's equivalent of downtown, and the fact that it gets to be high-rise has got a lot of people losing their mind. Now, the next location is titled Caves, but Tom suggests a different map that you might know. That, of course, being Afghan. Now, this was pretty much based on the area where towards the end of the Modern Warfare 2 game, you're kind of going after Shepard, and you have all of these different caves that you're trying to go through, as well as the cliffside. And let's face it, that place is an absolute maze. This area is going to be beautiful, and I mean beautiful for long and medium range combat on the outsides, while making it incredibly beautiful for the short range within the caves. Meaning, you're going to have to keep your eyes open and pray that the rose skin doesn't transfer over, because there will be a million places for that skin to hide. Now, the next one that they list is Dam. Now, I don't know if that means that they're going to be pulling the BO2 variation that we've also seen in Blackout, or if they're just going to do a completely different dam. That remains to be seen. It also appears they're going to be throwing in the marshes, which could play out similar to how Warzone Pacific played, with having it that you have to trudge through a water area that slows you down, but also makes you easier to hide. They also will be throwing in Harbor, which, again, we do not know if they're going to be pulling that from another map, or if they're just going to make something completely original. There's also a place called Syrah. No idea what that means, but we'll move on. Then you have an observatory. If anyone has ever played a map on an observatory, and that goes for COD and even outside of COD, you know that an observatory has a million places to hide, a hell of a lot of high points that if you happen to parachute on top of, you can pretty much play the high ground. Another location that's listed is called Mountain Town. And it's assumed, now remember I'm saying the phrase assumed, that it's Favela from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and it did make an appearance in Call of Duty Ghosts. This beauty of a map is pretty much just taken right out of Rio de Janeiro. And let's face it, you know exactly the style of it. Buildings stacked on top of each other, intricate close quarters combat, where if you are smart, you can avoid getting shot by just about anyone at long range, while also having it if you happen to be paired with a shotgun or an SMG, you quite literally could not only lose your opponents, but start to pick them off one by battling it out in the streets. Now the next location listed is Graveyard. Now, we don't really know much about that. It could play out similar to the Verdansk one, where it's just a simple graveyard, or it could be more intricate. They also suggest the Shipwreck, which, again, that could literally be any shipwreck. They could pull that from any map, or they could make something original. The next two locations are not maps that we've already seen, one of which being Fishtown, and the other one being Fort, and I've saved the best for last. Airports. And you already know which airport. Terminal. Now, a lot of you already immediately got excited. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe we're finally going to get Terminal. We're finally going to get the map we've always wanted. Alright, you're all excited. Now, I want you to remember what Black Ops 4 did with a lot of the maps that they dropped from, well, the multiplayer. They would take bits and pieces of the outer areas of the map to make it a seamless transition. Now look at the screen. That's Terminal. Can you picture it now? Can you picture Verdansk's air tower all over again? Let me put this into perspective for you. There it is. There's a little glint, followed by you immediately getting your head blown the fuck off. Yeah, Terminal will be fun if that actually is exactly what we're going to be getting, but it's worth worrying. With that air tower, you were probably going to get a shit ton of rats camping up there, with snipers doing exactly what happened in Verdansk, and exactly what's happening right now in, well, Caldera. So with that being said, I want you to let me know in the comment section down below, which point of interest has your interest? Is it Terminal? Is it Favela? Is it the fact that you actually have a variation of downtown that'll be high-rise, that you finally get to see what is beneath all that fog? If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to drop that comment, as well as follow us on our social medias. And you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever you're doing, do it wholeheartedly. And of course, as always, this is Dank Dan, signing off.
Get them to hit that subscribe button, Dank. It's the only way we can figure out the numbers.
15.
What do the numbers mean, Dank? We're wasting valuable time.